Hey guys, Scott Adams here again. So today I was speaking to some friends from the industry and 3D-Secure came up. So this is something that's been pretty interesting across the last, 15 years or so, in that early on it was kind of a silver bullet. At least that's what it seemed like. I was a merchant at the time, had a lot of chargebacks, and we implemented 3D-Secure and it was great. Like we had almost no chargebacks for a while. But then all of a sudden, our authorization rates plummeted and we got almost none. I mean, we got a lot of chargebacks and almost no authorizations. And so we turned it off and we hadn't used it until, we sold the company and never used it again. And we hear that story a lot, but what most merchants don't realize is there's actually a new version. It's like 2.0, and I think there's even a few other versions coming out shortly that are newer, and there's other technology at play. And so now it actually can be really good because you can basically do it all in real time and in the background. The consumer never has to be involved in some cases. And in other cases, they are involved, but it's only once. And the problem with that though still is like in the States, we're not really used to it. And so, more and more though, you do see it. I actually made a purchase today where it popped up and asked me for a code. And so I think over time it's going to get more popular. And so I thought I'd talk about it a little today. Just the first thing people need to think about and realize is that it is something that they should try and consider using. It really depends on your customer base. But even in the States, it can work. Now, flip side though, is it does not stop all chargebacks. So I've also heard that where merchants will tell me, oh, well, we don't need any other kind of protection because we use 3D-Secure. But that's not true. So how 3D-Secure works is if you get the authentication, then it transfers liability to the issuer, but only on chargebacks that are like do not recognize. So their cardholder cannot say they didn't do it because it's almost sure they did because they authenticated with their banking transaction or their banking credentials. So, or with a code that's sent out via some form of multi-factor authentication. And so, in that way, it's pretty secure. But again, that's only for that kind of transaction or that kind of chargeback. Now, if you look at things like, not delivered or, not as advertised, these kind of things, if it's a consumer-based complaint that the chargeback went through under, those codes still happen. And you still get chargebacks. Additionally, you can still get chargebacks if you use an exemption. So if the dollar amount is low, you don't need to use it. And exemptions really are only about the UK and Europe, but the States we don't require this stuff. But basically anytime you don't get the authentication, you don't get liability shift. So you've got to be careful that you understand how this all works and plan for that. And realize it's not a silver bullet. Nothing is, and I can't see where anything will be, other than not taking payments with credit cards. Then you're probably not going to have any chargebacks. So yeah, think about 3D-Secure, and let me know if you have questions. There's a lot of good ways to do it now, and there's a lot of flexibility in the strategies you can use that can lower your chargebacks, but you still need other protections too. So thanks a lot. Hope that helps.